Welcome to Real Fishing, where every cast is an adventure. Whether you're a seasoned angler or just dipping your toe into fishing, the fishing report here is going to help you catch more fish this weekend in Sydney. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We are well on our way to 2,000 subs. We are so close. And let's dive into what's been biting around Sydney. Well, the whiting have been producing really well over the last week. We've had some nice tides in the afternoon and people have been heading out onto the flats using Daiwa slippery dogs, MMD splash prawns, poppers, all that sort of stuff to be able to catch them. Once that sun has set, we've also seen a few of our bait fishermen out there along the flats as well, targeting them using live nippers, anchoring up, spending some time feeding those baits out and actually coming home with quite a few successful captures. Fish in excess of 45 centimeters, which is a great whiting here of Sydney. The bream again have been producing really well, particularly on our cicada lures. Now we have a 1 in 220 year cicada hatch happening at the moment, and the bream are just going absolutely nuts on it. Even the occasional kingfish, there've been a few people catching them on cicada lures, would you believe? And when they're keeping their catch and opening up their stomach, they are full of cicadas. So it's probably the number one bait, which is a bit weird to say over Sydney, but the number one bait that has been producing a lot of fish lately. Big key with that, making sure you're casting it under trees and in around those areas where cicadas will fall off the trees into the water. Heading out offshore, Mahi Mahi around the fads again have been producing really good numbers and some really nice size to them. Being the first boat out to the fads, so either getting a live baits the night before if you're lucky enough, or getting some live baits really quickly and being the first person out to those fads have been producing more success than anyone else. Along with that, we have seen our marlins slowly start to come into season now. A few boats heading out over the past couple of weeks, being able to catch quite a few really nice marlin out off Sydney. So that's what's been biting around Sydney. Let's look at where to go fishing this weekend. Well, in the morning, we've got some really nice conditions. We've got a low swell, we've got low wind, and what we also have is a really nice tide change. Both Saturday and Sunday, our tide changes right around sunrise. So the plan would be, if we're heading out offshore, get out there nice and early. Get out there around 5:10, fish that tide change into sunrise, nice and shallow, inside 30 meters, using a 1/4 ounce jig head or a 3/8 ounce jig head, using 5 to 7 style flick bait, jerk shad style soft plastics to be able to target some snapper and even some kingfish. If you're heading towards the live bait or you're a bait fisherman, you want to go out offshore, I'd definitely be using squid strips and a live bait. I'd use 2 rods. The live bait would be mainly for our kingfish to see if they're in those shallow reefs as well. And then our squid strips and stuff like that can also be targeted for kingfish, but are more catered towards our snapper. Heading back into the river, and the strong run-in tide should be able to produce some nice fish along the edges of the flats. Now remember, the bottom end of that tide, most of our flats here in Sydney won't have much water on them, but the fish will be hanging on those edges waiting to go back up onto those flats once that tide starts running in. So if you're targeting flathead, using 5-inch jerk shad style soft plastics or big prawns, big nipper style soft plastics, you should be able to find some really nice flathead there. If you're targeting your whiting, again, nippers, surface poppers are a really good one to be able to use along those edges. And if you're targeting bream, little lightly weighted soft plastics like the Daiwa Flick 2.95 inch is a really good one to do, and also their 2.35 inch prawn are also another really good one to use. Looking into the afternoon, in the afternoon the wind looks to be kicked up quite significantly. It's our typical summer afternoons on both Saturday and Sunday. We've got a northeast wind on both days pushing 25 to 30 kilometers an hour. So we also have a run out tide as well. So what you should be targeting is, 1, the protected northeast corners of our estuaries. So whether it be Botany Bay, Sydney Harbour, or even the Port Hacking, any of those northeast corners should be able to target some fish on that run out tide. And again, run out tide, what you're really looking for is probably going to be targeting our flathead. Fishing all the way to the bottom end of that tide, all the way into sunset, should be able to produce some nice fish. Fishing soft plastics if you can, if not, drifting your baits all the way along those edges of that run out tide should be able to find some nice fish. If you really enjoyed that video, don't forget to click the video that's just popped up here, or if you want to see even more of a wide range of videos we've got here, don't forget to click the channel icon and subscribe.